LINQ, or LINQ, stands for Language Integrated Query. LINQ is a relatively new addition to .NET, which makes working with databases much easier. Before LINQ, programmers would usually create their own set of classes to generate the SQL needed to interact with a database. This took a lot of time and effort. ASP.NET's LINQ classes automatically create the SQL needed to interact with your data, making it unnecessary to learn SQL. LINQ also streamlines the development process by removing the need to create your own data access classes. To begin this lesson, open the Spark sample file from your Sample Files folder. We are now going to add LINQ data classes to the project. First, right-click on Spark in the Solution Explorer, and then click Add New Item. Now click Data in the left panel and LINQ to SQL Classes in the central panel. Name the new classes spark.dbml. The DBML file is added and is automatically opened, displaying what it calls the Object Relational Designer. Although your LINQ data class has been created, you need to tell it to add classes for the objects in your database by using this designer. Next, we're going to add a table to your LINQ class. First, open the Database Explorer by clicking its tab underneath the Solution Explorer. Then expand spark.mdf and expand Tables. Now click and drag the Customer table from the Tables folder onto the Object Relational Designer in the central panel. Your LINQ file now contains a class for the Customer table, which allows you to easily search and update the table using the C# code you'll learn later in this session. It's important to note that although it's very easy to create LINQ data classes, they do not automatically update when the structure of a database changes. By structure, I mean the design of the database, not the data that is held inside it. The only way to reliably update LINQ data classes is to recreate the entire DBML file. You can do this by simply deleting the old file and creating a new one. In theory, it is possible to refresh individual items, but I have found that this occasionally causes problems that prevent the project from building. For this reason, I recommend that you always recreate the entire DBML file if your database structure changes. Next, we're going to add the Invoice table to your LINQ classes. In exactly the same way as you did with the Customer table, simply drag the Invoice table onto the LINQ designer. The Invoice table is now available to your LINQ classes. You'll notice the arrow between the two tables. This indicates the presence of a relationship between the tables. The line and arrow tell you that each customer may have many invoices. LINQ classes allow you to very easily find all of the invoices for any customer and to find the customer for any invoice. You'll see this in action in Lesson 10.4. Finally, we're going to add a stored procedure to your LINQ classes. Stored procedures are similar to methods, but are stored inside the database. Stored procedures contain SQL code that can manipulate data in ways that would be difficult using C#. In a team environment, stored procedures are usually written by the DBA. The stored procedure in this example finds the highest invoice number in the invoice table. First, expand the Stored Procedures folder in the Database Explorer. And then drag the SP GetLastInvoiceNumber procedure onto the LINQ Designer. The stored procedure now appears in the right panel of the LINQ Designer. Now that the stored procedure is part of the LINQ data class, you can call it just like any other C# method. You'll do this in Lesson 10.5. Close Visual Studio now, saving your changes if prompted. You've now completed Lesson 10.2. Add LINQ data classes to a project.